And welcome back. It is I, the Bleach Demon. And because this is a content rich environment, I figured we'd talk a little bit about the weaponization of a tragedy. So, as you all well know, the Covenant Presbyterian School shooting and its perp is at the forefront of debate and on everyone's tongue at the moment. And one of the things that I'd noticed starting to come out, and thanks to Discordia for pointing some of this out, is they've started to weaponize it in basically three types of ways. So the first and foremost way is, as one would expect, has to do with firearms. I mean, hell, we can go look at Twitter, and it's basically like, yep, yeah, talking. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, that's worth a like. But they're talking about firearms naturally. There's a ton of F your Second Amendment and all this other crap. And it's typical. I mean, how many damned years have we seen these people out there on the left running around, and whenever a tragedy like this comes along, start screaming about how we need to ban guns. That might be a little too spicy for YouTube at all. I'm sure we'll need some heavy blurring. But it's the usual. Oh well, having so many high caliber firearms. It's like, well, one of them, that Keltec, which I showed you previously, that fires a 9mm. It's basically a pistol caliber carbine, and that's it. It's not exactly some high capacity rifle, but naturally, the potato in chief decides he's got to get on the hot action like it's a bit of ice cream ready to melt, and comes out calling for an assault weapons ban. And it's like, you can't basically violate the Second Amendment. Sorry, go fuck yourself. That's the problem. And of course you get the typical, oh well, it's only in the United States that these problems happen. It's like, well, yes, because other countries have knife crimes and other crimes that these people can't get a good reference for, because they're going to focus only on the firearm and not on anything else of value to the topic of conversation. But that's whipping a dead horse. That's whipping it worse than Joe Biden gums his Caltech. Worse than Joe Biden gums his ice cream. So, quick side note: this is Evelyn Dykehouse, the young girl, 9-year-old girl who set off the fire alarm to try to distract the perp. So I'm going to try to mention that young girl's name every chance we can, because any ray of light is needed. So we'll go. I wish I had just a big old blob to block that crap out. So That's close enough. So they're claiming that the perp had an emotional disorder. Well, they didn't really say what, but they talk about high functioning autism and whatnot. And it's like, well, most autistic people don't go out, meticulously plan, as they say here, a massacre. And yeah, some rays of hope. But back to the weaponization. So this they're going after firearms. Now they're really focusing on trying to make her parents not accepting that she's trans as one of the things that she's a victim of, essentially. So, here we go. And New York Post, you're wonderful, but I don't feel like going in and reading all of your articles. So, supposedly, her strictly religious parents could not come to terms with their evil offspring's gender identity and sexuality. So, I've seen some photo floating around. I think it's fake or misattributed, where it's like a trans flag and a bi flag and some other flag thrown in there just because why not. Also had like a NATO flag and a communist flag. I have not seen good solid evidence that that's connected with this sick individual. So, a cache of 7 guns. Okay. So, but yeah, that one of the big things is they're trying to say, oh, well, these terrible Christians are denying their daughter their identity. It's like, yeah, no, sorry, not buying it. You can, that was heartbreaking. God. But yeah, you just can't, you can't allow them to go down the road of saying, oh, well, you denied their identity, therefore they're a victim and were justified in lashing out. What utter bullshit. So, on the post-millennial, and this is where it really starts going down into the rabbit hole. Hate has consequences. Trans group mourns death of trans mass killer. A little sensational, but this is one of those things where, and this trans resistance network, their tweets are now restricted, because I was trying to dig down into some of that. But yeah, it's like just this piece that got salvaged. Prepare to defend yourself now. This weekend has already provided us 2 crystal clear reasons why we need to be prepared to defend ourselves at a moment's notice against Nazis and fascists. Don't get scared, get prepared. Lots of whatever the hell are there. So, they're going out of their way to be sympathetic towards a murderer. That's because this is who these people are. So, then you've got this, this trans resistance network talking about, first tragedy. Second tragedy is a complex tragedy in that the perp who felt that they had no other effective ways to be seen than to lash out and taking life of others as a consequence. I mean, go fuck yourself. And, talking about, transgenders have anxiety, depression, suicidal ideation, things like that. we get, yeah, it's a severe and underly treated mental disorder, because they would rather be trendy than actually try to help these people. And this is this is the tragedy of what they're doing here, is they're basically painting themselves as victims in the shadow of this tragedy. I mean, I'm sorry, but you cannot have your cake and eat it too with this sort of things. Because they're whinging about anti-trans legislation and bullshit like that. But I'm sorry, when you side with a murderer of children, there's just no recourse. There's absolutely no recourse. So I'm flabbergasted that they think it's okay to murder people because they're having to deal with things. That's essentially how this comes across. So, and there it is. Cisgender people are invited to officially to do literally anything to oppose trans genocide. Literally anything. When you hear that, obviously it's just terrible millennial garbage linguistics, but it sounds like opposing trans genocide is becoming a martyr, and that's dangerous. So, the other thing, and I think we all kind of know this intrinsically, is they're going after the Christians, whether you're Christian, atheist, Jewish, Muslim, what have you, whatever. When they keep bringing that up, especially referring to her parents as devout, then you know that is a big driving factor behind all this. And I'm at the point, especially during Easter. You know, Easter's come. You know, we're in Lent and going into Easter, and it's like, I'm sorry. This is definitely targeting Christians from this perp. Oh, who gives a damn? That's it. Yeah, I'm sure. You know, little baby Adolf was cute back in the day too. Oh, that's an interesting thing. AH. So, yep. And then, yep, yada, 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 doing a lot of crap. And, yeah, I mean, this is just mudslinging towards the parents. And, yeah, okay, crappy art, yippee-yi-yo-ki-yay. Definitely, not what you would consider anything other than that, oh, I'm just going to be weird look. So, it's unclear why she targeted the facility, says the Daily Snail. But it's pretty obvious. Yeah, she went to this school at some, apparently at some point in her life. Her parents were very religious. Yeah. This was targeted. This was highly targeted. But it's okay when the trans Imperial Reich comes in with their armed goons jackbooting about, it's okay. You know why? Because at least they're not those evil, gun-loving Christians. Yeah. This is a tragedy all the way around. But nobody is going to get anywhere until we stop mincing words and address the mental health issues and nothing else. But that's all for now. Bleach out.